Hi. 18 months ago, I tried to use Fabric F2 for a particular workload that I care about a lot. And at the time, I would say the experience wasn't great. Then I tried today, or rather the last 4 days, I said, let's try again and see how things works. And in this video, I'd explain like the decision I make and why I think it's awesome. So here's the report: is just the data change every 5 minutes. Let me just do a refresh. Yeah, it's 50 here, 51, so it works. I'm using direct query, which is obviously slightly slower than direct lake or import, but that was like the only option that works. I would say it's good. And let's try here with a dimension with high cardinality. So let's see what AGL is doing. And yeah, so this is the highest. It's at the 5 minutes, so it's not an aggregation. Let me explain the choice. So let's go. By the way, I prefer always to, this is just personal preference, to put like workspace for end users and the workspace for backend staff for like where you do your ETL. For this case, the workspace is pro license. As you know, like F2, you don't have free reader. The point is if the requirement to have less than like just 8 refresh, yeah, you can just import, but in my case, I want more. So let's go back to the backend. Let's see the architect. I load data using the new Python notebook. It works well for this kind of data as it's relatively small. The data increased by 50 million rows per year, so it's not like massive. And Python notebook we scale just fine. Like the worst case, I will just add more Tuku or something. I copy the data into OneLake as delta table. Then I serve it using the SQL endpoint. I build the semantic model, which feed Power BI, and I have this notebook just to like mess around and use semantic link, which was like very, very useful. Because at a certain point, I wasn't sure which column was taking a lot of space, and semantic link was like saver. I love it. So this is your classical ETL. There is nothing particularly exciting here. I would say just one thing always: when you schedule a notebook, make sure you use data pipeline. Sorry, let me just show it here. Sorry. And there are like a lot of good reason to do that. First, data pipeline is extremely cheap, so don't worry about the compute unit consumption. But I would say this is the most important one, is that you can put a timeout. So if you do something silly and which happen, it's a guarantee that whatever you do, it will not hurt your capacity. So I think it's really good idea to do it. So yeah, I have those two pipeline, and there is one thing here. Just if you are into T-SQL, I think you should have a look at the new T-SQL notebook. And by the way, it's free in the sense that you don't pay for the front end. It doesn't cost you anything. Obviously, you pay for the queries, but this UI itself is totally free. No, warehouse. Just give me a second, and you can see the top 100. You can add chart and build like interactive stuff, but anyway, I think it's worth having a look. And the way you get it is just you change it here to SQL. Okay, so that's fine, but let's see. The Like everyone has a nice demo till they show you their capacity usage. So yeah, it's it's a Fabric F2. Let's see the utilization. When I started with, you see the background, it's fine. It's less than 100, so that's great. Um, interactive, I got some spike here. That's not great. It means at some point you get interactive delay, which is not great user experience. But once I switch to, at this moment, I switch to direct query and everything just perfect. Yeah, at one point I got interactive rejection. That's not It's not great. It means the user, when he opened the report, he will get this message. The average here, the way it works with the capacity model is when you have an F2, it means you're entitled to 2 compute units per second. It doesn't mean this is basically the baseline, and there is something called it's called bursting. Sorry, yeah, bursting and smoothing. Bursting, in simple term, it means the engine can use more than 2 compute units per second. And the trick is that extra usage, sorry, will be smoothed on the next 24 hours. So here, this show like over usage and how much. Obviously, when there is less usage, you will pay back your debt. And the good thing is, as this recording, it's perfect. I paid everything, so it's perfect. I don't have any debt. I can just turn it off. I like this new tab, system events. Basically, here it show like I turned on the capacity 4 days ago. I like the usage, everything. I don't see anything particularly strange. Everything just makes sense. I was like, I love the notebook. It's very, very efficient, I would say. Overall, let's go back to the report, see if it's updating. Yeah, I can do like automatic refresh, but just for, yep, and it works. The one thing I really like, and it's hard to, you need to see it for yourself, the overall user experience, because the notebook it doesn't use much hardware. The whole thing is rather smooth, and you can open like multiple notebook at the same time, and you don't have like you don't get like throttling, because like the minute, like you're using basically 2 core per notebook. Like the overall experience was way better. Yeah, All right. So let's go back to the capacity. Yeah, I think it's a very good value for money, and as you can see, like it's non. Yes, it's not like the biggest workload ever, but I'm very happy with the result. For example, here for storage, the the data so far it generated 172 gigabyte. We get charged only for. I'm not even sure. There is some kind of free. Yeah, I got charged only for 15. I think there is some free percentage, or anyway, I'm not sure. But yeah, I hope you find it useful. And if you tried F2 a year ago and you didn't like experience, maybe you should give it another go. And like, don't dismiss direct query. I genuinely I was very surprised by the performance of the SQL endpoint, and especially the compute usage. That was great. I hope you learned something and you found it useful. And thank you for watching.